Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video, we are going to cover top 50 important MCQs from the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Know Your Customer and the Anti-Money Laundering, especially for the IBPS Law Officer exam. So let's start the video. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act was enacted by the Parliament of India in which year? 2002. What is the primary objective of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act? To confiscate property derived from money laundering. Which agency is exclusively designated to investigate offences under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act? Directorate of Enforcement. Under Section 3 of the Act, which of the following directly relates to money laundering? Projecting proceeds of crime as untainted property. If the offence relates to the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, the maximum imprisonment can extend to 10 years. What is the maximum monetary fine that can be imposed for an offence of money laundering? No upper statutory limit. The term proceeds of crime refers to property derived directly or indirectly from scheduled criminal activity. An authorized officer can provisionally attach property suspected to be involved in money laundering for a period not exceeding 180 days. Which authority has the jurisdiction to confirm the provisional attachment of property? The adjudicating authority. Appeals against the orders passed by the adjudicating authority are filed before the appellate tribunal. What is the prescribed time limit to file an appeal before the appellate tribunal? 45 days. Any person aggrieved by the decision of the appellate tribunal may file an appeal to the High Court. Under Section 24, who bears the burden of proof to show that proceeds are untainted? The accused person. Offences listed in the schedules of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act are technically termed as scheduled offences. Part A of the schedule specifies offences under various acts. What is the minimum monetary threshold for an offence under Part A to trigger money laundering? No minimum threshold. Who designated special courts to try offences under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act? Central government in consultation with the High Court Chief Justice. Under Section 45, all offences punishable under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act are classified as non-bailable and cognizable. If a corporate entity commits a money laundering offense, who is deemed legally liable? Every person responsible for the conduct of business. Which section mandates reporting entities to maintain records of transactions and identities of clients? Section 12. For how many years must a reporting entity maintain transaction records after the transaction date? 5 years. For how many years must a reporting entity maintain customer identity records after the business relationship ends? 5 years. Which nodal national agency receives suspicious transaction reports from banks in India? Financial Intelligence Unit. What is the penalty limit that the director of the Financial Intelligence Unit can impose for failure to maintain records? 10,000 to 1 lakh rupees per failure. The acronym KYC prominently stands for Know Your Customer. To establish a customer's identity, the Reserve Bank of India mandates the collection of an OVD. What does OVD stands for? Officially valid document. Which of the following is not classified as an officially valid document by the Reserve Bank of India? Employee Identification Card. Under KYC norms, how frequently must banks conduct periodic updation for high-risk customers? At least once every 2 years. How frequently must banks update KYC profiles for medium risk customers? Every 8 years. How frequently must banks update KYC profiles for low risk customers? Every 10 years. In the context of beneficial ownership of a company, the controlling ownership interest threshold is more than 10%. The abbreviation PEP in anti money laundering framework stands for politically exposed person. Which type of due diligence is mandatorily applied when opening an account for a politically exposed person? Enhanced due diligence. If a customer refuses to provide necessary KYC documents, the reporting entity must close the account or refuse to open it. The three standard stages of money laundering are placement, layering, and integration. The state where illicit funds are first introduced into the legitimate financial system is called placement. The process of engaging in complex financial transactions to obscure the origin of funds is known as layering. The illegal practice of breaking large amounts of cash into smaller, less suspicious transactions is called structuring or smurfing. A cash transaction report must be filed for all cash transactions in a month exceeding what consolidated amount? 10 lakh rupees. By what date must a reporting entity submit the monthly cash transaction report to the Financial Intelligence Unit? By the 15th of the succeeding month. Within how many days must a suspicious transaction report be furnished to the authorities after arriving at a conclusion? Within 7 days. A counterfeit currency report must be filed by the bank for transactions involving all cash transactions where forged notes are detected. Under anti-money laundering guidelines, cross-border wire transfer must be reported if the value exceeds 5 lakh rupees. In relation to suspicious transactions, tripping off a customer is strictly prohibited by law. What does the international acronym FATF stands for? Financial Action Task Force. What is the primary objective of the Financial Action Task Force? To set global standards combating money laundering and terrorist financing. Along with the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which Indian Act primarily criminalizes terrorist financing. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. The abbreviation CFT, commonly used alongside anti-money laundering, stands for Combating the Financing of Terrorism. Who is designated as the principal officer in a bank for AML purposes? A senior management level officer responsible for compliance. Under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, property includes assets of every description, whether corporeal, incorporeal, movable, or immovable. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next one.